Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers: Brennan frames Jason for Cyrus murder. Will Josslyn face her final test? According to General Hospital spoilers, a Jason Morgan frame-up twist could be on the way if Jack Brennan wants to give Josslyn Jack's one final test. Brennan has been keeping a careful eye on Josslyn and sees promise in her future as a WSB agent. Brennan believes Josslyn possesses many of the attributes required to succeed in the Bureau and achieve great success. Josslyn, on the other hand, appears to be spooked now that she has removed Cyrus Renault off the map. Brennan gave Josslyn very specific instructions, which she has been following, but things are about to get tougher. It will be difficult enough when Trina Robinson begins questioning Josslyn about what really happened last night. Of course, Carly Spencer may subject Josslyn to an even more tough interrogation concerning her missing phone and unusual mood. Despite Josslyn's attempts to explain and downplay everything, her unusual conduct will raise suspicions. Brennan said that even Carly would not know the truth, but Joss will find it difficult to lie to her mother. However, depending on what Brennan has set in motion, the real problem may not arise until later. Brennan requested a complete cleanup of the cabin with one exception, therefore we must evaluate what that exemption may be. Although Brennan got rid of Cyrus' body and eliminated any evidence that Josslyn was present, he might want to give the PCPD someone else to focus on. It would be preferable to divert attention away from Josslyn and towards the most logical suspect instead. Could Brennan ensure that some evidence pointing to Jason is discovered? According to GH spoilers, Jason will be backed into a corner, so the forensics team may discover something that causes problems. Anna Devane has already expressed concern about Jason pursuing lethal revenge. Jason has plenty of expertise as a hitman, thus Anna may be concerned that he is responsible for Cyrus's death and cover-up. Even if there isn't enough evidence to indict Jason, Brennan may put the heat on him. It would reduce the likelihood of Josslyn being suspected and possibly provide one final test. Brennan might want to see if Josslyn can handle it once Jason is under fire. It could be Brennan's way of evaluating if Josslyn will crack under strain, given how much she feels about Jason. According to General Hospital spoilers, Jason is in for some trouble, so stay tuned for more legal drama predictions and updates. GH spoilers: will Sasha and Jason's houseplay lead to something more? General Hospital spoilers state that Sasha Gilmore, Corbin, and Jason Morgan are already forming a formidable team. We may not see much chemistry there right now, but give it time. Jason is likely to revert to his favorite old habit, caring for the woman in his life. Because he does not have one, Sasha will make an excellent substitute. Michael Corinthos cannot claim her or their child. That begs the question of how long Jason and Sasha will be able to maintain their fictitious family. Will the time they spend together, however limited, allow them to form a real family just as Michael returns home with important decisions to make? While Michael is abroad for treatment, Jason has taken up the role of protector for Sasha, as he has done for many women in Port Charles in the past. He's keeping an eye on her, ensuring she's secure and supported as she navigates this difficult pregnant situation. Let's be clear, there is no romantic chemistry here. Jason's intentions are as pure as they come, motivated by his loyalty to Michael and a natural desire to assist a buddy in need. Sasha isn't blinking her eyelashes at Jason either. She appreciates his constant presence, but her heart and mind are somewhere else, most likely still entangled in the muck of her past with Cody and future with an unplanned kid. This arrangement is strictly commercial, a reasonable answer to a complex problem. Jason isn't wanting to play home for real, and Sasha isn't seeing a white picket fence with him. That being said, could proximity alter the game? Will Danny allow it? Jason's son, Danny Morgan, is already in on the ruse. Jason and Sasha sat him down and explained the situation. They're claiming Jason is the baby's father to protect Sasha and the child. Danny is a good child, and he's okay with his father assisting a friend for now. He sees it as Jason being the stand-up comedian he has always been. But here's where things get messy. What if Danny notices his father developing love for Sasha? Jason may not understand it yet, but children notice things. Danny is still hurting from the loss of his mother, Sam McCall, who died not long ago, destroying the family he shared with her and Dante Falconeri. That loss may distort his judgment, causing him to cling to the past and resent any indication of Jason moving on, even if it is inadvertent. Will Danny's pain prevent him from seeing his father's chance at happiness, or will he change his mind as Jason and Sasha's love grows stronger? The truth always comes out in the wash. The truth about this baby's paternity cannot be hidden forever. This is General Hospital, after all. When Michael returns, will he be the one to blow the lid off this ruse? Consider this: Michael returns, recovered and eager to reclaim his life, only to discover Sasha and his child snuggled up with Jason in this phony family setup. If Michael's heart begins to tug him back towards Sasha, seeking to repair their relationship, Jason's presence may feel like an obstacle. Might Michael drop the beans himself, revealing Jason as not the father, in order to shatter their happy little facade? It would be a typical soap opera move, Michael fighting for Sasha and his child, only to find Jason isn't going to give up so simply. Or will Sasha and Jason's time together have formed a genuine bond by then, leaving Michael on the outside looking in? One thing is certain: when the truth is out, Port Chuck will be shaken to its core. General Hospital spoilers. Monday, February 24th, Josslyn grilled, Cyrus hunt heats up, Lois horrified, Laura terrified. The next GH will be explosive. Josslyn is grilled, Cyrus probe heats up, and everyone is coping with intense emotions. The General Hospital spoilers for Monday, February 24th, 2025 are here. Fans might expect Laura Collins to reconnect in the future episode. Josslyn Jax was grilled. Lois Curello also discovers a shocking revelation. Laura Collins reconnects on Monday, February 24th. Laura will reunite with Sonny Corinthos. Sonny will want to be present as Laura deals with Lucky Spencer's health. Lucky almost died and appears to be stable now, however he has not awoken. Laura might comment on how ironic it is that one child has woken up while the other is asleep. It is possible that Sonny will bring up the loss of his own son. Josslyn Jax rattled after killing Cyrus Renault. Josslyn will try to behave as if nothing has happened. Although it was self-defense, Jack Brennan cleaned up the crime scene. Brennan reasoned that the cops would not believe it was self-defense because Dex Heller's gun was used. Trina Robinson's intuition. While Joss continues to consider Cyrus and Brennan's WSB offer, she is questioned. Trina Robinson can see something is wrong with Josslyn, and it worries her. Meanwhile, Trina will open up to Josslyn about Kai Taylor. Meanwhile, Kai defends Trina to a teammate. General Hospital spoilers for Monday, February 24th, 2025 hint that Ava will also have a surprising guest. Laura warns Martin Gray that they are in danger as long as Cyrus is present. Dante Falconeri delivers sad news. Anna Devane sends someone down to the police station. According to the promo footage for Monday's show, Alexis Davis has a problem to solve. Meanwhile, Christina Corinthos Davis informs Molly Lansing Davis that she will never trust the system again. Over with Brooklyn Quartermain, Lois learns that Harrison Chase knows everything. BLQ appears relieved, but Lois is absolutely horrified. Chase seems to be completely on board with BLQ discovering her kid, despite the fact that she has no idea what gender it is. While Lois is presumably trying to keep BLQ from finding her kid, the truth about Giovanni Gio Palmira will eventually come out. Brooklyn has no idea that her baby lives under the same house, so stay tuned. Port Charles had never been an easy place to keep secrets, as Sasha Gilmore Corbin discovered the hard way. Every day felt like a war, one she fought with a grin on her face while concealing the truth deep under the surface. She had always been tough, someone who could push through whatever life threw at her, but this time she wasn't sure she could keep up the act. The pressure was increasing, and the walls were closing in. For months, she had been dodging the constant whispers and sideways glances of those who claimed to care. People she hardly knew, people she had previously trusted, all appeared to believe they had the right to probe her about the father of her child. She had gotten accustomed to the speculation, assumptions, and even well-intentioned concern, which frequently felt like an interrogation. Everyone assumed they knew the answer. Jason Morgan. The concept had begun as a modest rumor, a misunderstanding she hadn't bothered to clarify, but it had quickly taken on a life of its own. Josslyn, as stoic and trustworthy as ever, had played along without question, knowing better than anybody that the truth may be more harmful than a falsehood. But how long could this masquerade continue? Sasha never expected to have to spend her entire pregnancy pretending her child belonged to someone else. She had never meant to keep Michael Corinthos in the dark, but there was no other option. His absence had forced her hand, and she was now entangled in a web of deception that only became more complicated with each passing day. And as much as she wanted to believe she was doing this for Michael, a little voice whispered that it wasn't all about him. It was about her. This was about survival. A mother's battle. Sasha had spent her entire life striving to prove her independence. She had struggled for everything she had, battling her way out of the shadows time and again. She had loved and lost, stumbled and gotten back up more times than she could remember. And now, she was battling for something more important than anything else, her child. It was more than just keeping Michael's name out of it. It was about maintaining control over her own future. She was well aware of the consequences of revealing the truth. Michael's relatives would descend like vultures, circling her, interrogating her at every turn, and insisting on their right to be engaged. They'd chat about what was best for the baby, and suddenly she wasn't making the decisions. She would be fighting for the right to raise her own children. And without Michael at her side, she was unsure she could win. The Quartermaines possessed power, and when they put their minds to something, they did not stop until they achieved their goal. She'd seen this happen before. If Michael were here, things would be different. But he wasn't. And that was why she couldn't tell anyone the truth. She had to continue pretending. She had to retain Josslyn in the role of father because, in her opinion, he was the only one who could protect her from the approaching storm. Josslyn Morgan's name was well known in Port Charles. It was a name that could stop people in their tracks and answer questions before they were asked. People believed Josslyn was the father of Sasha's child, so she had an extra layer of protection. Josslyn was not simply revered, he was feared. Nobody would dare to question him, and no one would ever accuse him of being the type of man who would lie about something like this. People believed Josslyn's statements. That was precisely why Sasha needed him. Josslyn had fallen into the job seamlessly, never questioning or demanding answers. He did not need to. He knew why Sasha was doing this and did not judge her for it. He easily completed the necessary tasks. But even Josslyn would be unable to keep the truth buried indefinitely. Sasha knew it. She just wasn't sure how much longer she had until everything fell apart. The ones who would never let it go. The Quartermaine family was never one to take things at face value, and this was no exception. Tracy Quartermaine had always been bright, suspicious, and searching for the truth behind the lies. And Carly Spencer? She was unrelenting. Neither of them were the kind to back down, and neither felt Sasha was giving the whole truth. Carly, in particular, had been watching Sasha attentively. She didn't want to start a fight she couldn't win, but something about this circumstance didn't feel right to her. She knew Michael. She knew Sasha. And something told her Josslyn was not the baby's father. But establishing it was another matter completely. Secrets were revealed in Port Charles as everything fell apart. Regardless of how carefully they were buried or how much effort was expended to keep them hidden, the truth always found a way out. And when it did, it would not be silent. It would not be clean. It would be disastrous. Michael Corinthos would return home, hoping to find his life as he had left it, only to discover that everything had changed. Josslyn, who had stood by Sasha through it all, would be forced to face the reality that his duty as protector had resulted in unexpected consequences. And Sasha would have to confront the reality that her carefully built lie was going to crumble. There would be no simple way out of this. Michael had missed months with his child, time he could never get back. Even if Sasha had done everything with pure intentions, the consequences would have been the same. Can Michael forgive her? Can Josslyn? More importantly, can Sasha ever forgive herself? The road ahead was unpredictable, and the consequences were unavoidable. No matter how much Sasha wanted to think that everything would work out, she knew better. This was Port Charles. And nothing ever remained buried for long. Jordan Ashford scarcely noticed the biting chill in Port Charles's night air as she stood outside the Metro Court, her mind racing with possibilities. Every step she had taken in the last 2 weeks had been deliberate, a delicate dance between deception and discovery. She was playing a risky game that could either reveal Jens Sidwell for the ruthless operator he was or cost her everything, even her life. Jordan took deep breaths as the city bustled around her, bracing herself for what lay ahead. She wasn't doing this alone. Dr. Isaiah Gannon had already put himself on the line for her by volunteering to be her secret ally. Their meetings had been brief but intense, held behind closed doors when they laid out their strategy and whispered in quiet tones about their next move. Jordan had always been dedicated to justice, but something about this case felt different. The stakes were more than just professional, they were personal. And as she dug deeper, it became increasingly difficult to discern where the lies ended and the truth began. She knew one thing for sure, Jens Sidwell was concealing something significant, and if she wasn't careful, she'd be the one buried beneath his secrets. Jordan had always been adept at controlling her emotions, but Sidwell was unlike any other criminal she had pursued. He was frighteningly bright, charming when it suited him, and completely brutal when pushed. Getting close to him had been difficult, but it was vital. She had spent weeks gaining his trust, making him believe she was an ally in his endeavors. The Esplanade project had given her the perfect opportunity to integrate herself into his world. Sidwell's latest pet project, an apparently benign rehabilitation venture, concealed something far more sinister beneath the surface. However, getting close comes with risks. The more time she spent with Sidwell, the more she noticed how precisely he played his cards. He was a brilliant manipulator, always 10 steps ahead, and if he suspected she was anything but devoted, he would not hesitate to eliminate her. That was why Isaiah played such an important role in the scheme. He was her only true ally in this, and the only person who was aware of the entire scope of her actions. However, even allies had their own goals. A dangerous attraction. Dr. Isaiah Gannon had agreed to assist Jordan, but that did not imply he agreed with her strategy. He'd seen personally what happened to individuals who came too close to Sidwell, and the prospect of Jordan putting herself in danger didn't set well with him. Their sessions had begun completely professional, discussions of strategy, briefings on Sidwell's movements, but as the weeks went, something changed. There was an unspoken tension between them, a weight that neither of them recognized but both felt. Isaiah had always admired Jordan's determination, but seeing her throw herself into the lion's den for the sake of the mission changed his perspective on her. She was courageous, resolute, and more than willing to risk her life for the greater good. And this terrified him. Every time they met in secret, and she walked away to rejoin Sidwell, he wondered if it would be the last time he saw her. He agreed to help her since he believed in what she was doing. But now he wasn't sure if he was protecting her for the mission or for himself. Jordan was not immune to the shift either. She'd spent years erecting barriers around herself, keeping people at a distance. But Isaiah had a way of seeing right through her shields, forcing her to examine things she had long ceased questioning. She realized she was playing with fire. However, for the first time in a long time, she was unsure whether she wanted to release it. Jens Sidwell was not a man who ignored warning signs. He had established his empire by understanding when to trust and when to destroy. And something about Jordan Ashford had started to disturb him. She was too perfect. He is overly focused on his plans. She was overly cautious in her words and delivery. He was initially drawn to her knowledge, charm, and confident demeanor. He saw her as a valuable asset who could help him advance his mission. What about now? He wasn't sure anymore. He had begun to pay closer attention to her, monitoring her interactions and noting how she would withdraw at odd moments. And then there was Isaiah Gannon. Sidwell saw that the excellent doctor seemed to be particularly interested in Jordan's motions. A bit too much interest. Sidwell had always taken pride in being ahead of his opponents, and if Jordan felt she could outmaneuver him, she was about to be proven wrong. The trap was set, but Sidwell did not face Jordan immediately away. That would have been too easy. No, he was going to play the game the way he usually did, on his own terms. He made her believe she was making progress, providing just enough information to keep her interested. And then, when the time was right, he set the bait. A whispered discussion, a well-placed paper, a suggestion of something deeper hiding beneath the surface. Jordan and Isaiah took the bait, just as he expected. They believed they were closing in on Sidwell's operation and were about to discover the final piece of the jigsaw. Instead, they walked directly into his trap. They realized they had made a mistake the instant they stepped into the abandoned warehouse where they expected to uncover evidence of Sidwell's criminal transactions. The doors locked behind them. The lights flickered. Sidwell emerged from the shadows, smirking as if he had already won. "The price of the game, you actually thought you could beat me?" Sidwell's voice was smooth and almost pleased. "I am disappointed, Jordan." Jordan's heart was pounding, but she refused to betray her anxiety. She stood still, her gaze steadfast. "You underestimated me, Sidwell." Sidwell laughed and shook his head. "Oh, I don't believe I did." "I believe you underestimated me." Isaiah tightened alongside her, his fists clenched. "If you harm her, hurt her?" Sidwell tilted his head. "Why would I do that? Jordan is much more useful to me now." Jordan's thoughts raced. They were outnumbered, outmaneuvered, and entirely vulnerable to Sidwell. Nonetheless, she was unwilling to give up. Sidwell may have won this round, but the game was not finished yet. Definitely not. Jordan realized she just had one shot at getting out of this alive. She met Sidwell's eyes and forced herself to remain calm. "You believe you have everything under control, but you do not. You made a mistake." Sidwell raised an eyebrow. "Oh? What error would that be?" Jordan smiled. "You forgot who you're dealing with." And then the real game began. Spoilers, Michael's return to PC is the only way to resolve Sasha's messy baby daddy storyline. According to General Hospital spoilers, Sasha Corbin's situation in Port Charles has deteriorated. While she is overjoyed to be pregnant, she has been determined to keep her baby's father a secret for a variety of reasons. Unfortunately, the expectant mother has been forced to claim Jason Morgan as the child's father, despite her desire to keep it a secret. Things have become really sticky in her world, so is there any hope that something will happen to fix this storyline? Sasha didn't want her baby tied to the Quartermaines or the mob. The main reasons Sasha didn't want to expose Michael Corinthos as her baby's father were to prevent the child from becoming a target for the mob as a grandchild of Sonny Corinthos, and she didn't want the baby growing up in the toxicity of the Quartermaine family. Furthermore, she did not want to jeopardize Michael's prospects of retaining custody of his other children, Wiley and Amelia Corinthos. This makes it unclear why Sasha thinks running with the myth that Jason is the father of her child is a good idea. After all, Stone Cold is Sonny's right-hand man and a mafia target, just like his boss. Plus, Jason is a Q by blood, so Tracy Quartermaine and the rest of the family would be all over that baby. Michael's return to PC will fix everything. One of the main reasons Wiley and Amelia's custody is uncertain is that Michael is in Germany recovering from third-degree burns. He is unable to sit down with Willow Tate Corinthos and discuss the details of a custody agreement. Unfortunately, with Michael out of town and so many others in their circle becoming involved, things have spiraled out of control. Michael can claim his child with Sasha once Wiley and Amelia's custody agreement is finalized. After all, Jason is willing to help Michael by safeguarding his kid and baby mother, but he doesn't appear to enjoy pretending to be someone else's baby daddy. He's already been down this path twice, and supporters can see he's nervous about doing it again. Michael is making good progress in his recovery and expects to return to Port Charles this year. Could his return assist to resolve this sticky plot situation? Kirsten Storm, a General Hospital star, has been falsely accused of manipulation. According to General Hospital News, no matter what she does or says, her critics will always find something unpleasant to say about her. Kirsten Storms, widely known as Maxie Jones on General Hospital, has been falsely accused of manipulation. For several months, she has been unfairly accused of altering her social media images. Some believe she is attempting to make herself appear slimmer than she actually is. One individual accused her of photoshopping her biceps, which the actress denied. Must read, General Hospital spoilers, Josslyn framed for Cyrus murder, Drew won't provide an alibi? But the reality is, Kirsten has been working out, taking care of herself and prioritizing her health. The results have obviously been apparent as she's looked the best that she's looked in years. Plus, the actress has always been quite honest about some of the problems that she's had with her personal issues, which include her mental health. What's next for Kirsten Storms? In an April 2022 interview with Maurice Benard on his YouTube series State of Mind, she admitted to being bipolar and coping with a lot of anxiety in her life. She described it this way: I get frequent anxiety attacks. I have bipolar 1. I easily become agitated over things. I felt agitated, scared, and stressed. I'm preoccupied with being on time. I'm not sure whether you noticed, but I was right on time when I entered the building. I constantly worry about that kind of stuff. Kirsten has yet to speak on the topic, and it seems unlikely that she will do so at this point. She is merely trying to live her best life without always thinking about what her trolls are saying about her. Is another big star leaving General Hospital? Everything they're doing right now appears to be causing a lot of reshuffling. Is another big star leaving General Hospital? Of course, we're talking about all of the changes and recastings on the General Hospital set. In fact, there is widespread anticipation that another great star may be leaving General Hospital sooner rather than later. Everyone wants to know who it is. John Lindstrom has joined the new CBS soap Beyond the Gates, according to reports from earlier this week. Given how Beyond the Gates is filmed in Atlanta, many people are wondering if he is leaving General Hospital. Can John pull off the double, filming General Hospital in Atlanta and Los Angeles? That's what many fans want to know. If that isn't enough, there is widespread talk that Jonathan Jackson may also depart his post. He's suddenly absent at a moment when the show desperately needs him, since Lucky has some key sequences with Elizabeth. Many fans are left wondering why he would leave the show now and have his recast do all of the heavy lifting for him. This past week, some fans speculated that Kelly Monaco, who was sacked from General Hospital, may move on to another daytime television show. General Hospital spoilers, when will Jonathan Jackson return? However, her former co-star Maurice Benard did inform his fans on social media that Kelly has a lot on her plate right now and that it may be some time before we see her in front of the cameras again. General Hospital spoilers, Brennan is about to destroy Josslyn's life. According to General Hospital spoilers, Brennan is about to shatter Josslyn's life in an unprecedented manner. General Hospital spoilers, Brennan is about to destroy Josslyn's life. As many GH fans are aware, Brennan arrived to assist Josslyn in cleaning up her mess after Cyrus died in the most recent episode. However, many others wonder if he was the correct person for her to call. Clearly, these two are going to work together, and from what we can gather, Brennan is going to ruin her life. Of course, this tale sparked a lot of discussion on the internet. Some even said, "I don't like Jack. Josslyn should have contacted the cops. It was self-defense." Josslyn is currently in a major mess as a result of her attempts to cover up a crime. I don't think Jack has Josslyn's best interests in mind. There was no reason for Josslyn to contact anyone other than the police. It was self-defense. This is a plot device to get Josslyn and Brennan to collaborate. Another critic wrote, "Brennan is the reason Joss is in this predicament. She's maybe 20. What was he thinking when he let her try to bust Cyrus? When Carly discovers out, she should go crazy." General Hospital spoilers, what's next for Josslyn and Brennan? Joss should have called Anna. Beware of Brennan's motivations. Joss has now committed another crime and is obliged to him. Brennan was not considering what was best for Joss. I don't trust his motives. There was also the following comment: Joss would have contacted Jason, Carly, and possibly Sonny before Jack. I get that the authors are trying to make Joss a spy, but Joss knows individuals who have cleaned up murders. Brennan gets rid of Cyrus' body and pushes Josslyn to join the WSB. Brooklyn Quartermain shared her adolescent pregnancy tale at home, as well as how Lois Cerullo assisted her with a secret adoption. Although Brooklyn apologized for lying, Harrison Chase did not view it that way because it was her secret to reveal. Chase was understanding of the situation and appreciated Brooklyn's strength even more after hearing the news. Brooklyn claimed she had no idea whether the kid was a boy or a girl, so Chase asked if she had considered looking her child up. Although Brooklyn was concerned that derailing her now-grown child's life would be unfair, Chase responded as if it could be beneficial. Jason Morgan pressed Drew Quartermaine for a truce for the sake of the children, but Drew refused. Drew made it plain that he was done with the hypocritical Quartermaines, and Jason was kicked out of his home. Next, Sasha Gilmore Corbin informed Tracy Quartermaine about the PI who appeared to be looking for Michael Corinthos' information and suspected it was Willow Corinthos' attorney. Tracy asked if Sasha was going to marry Jason after she revealed her due date to Elaine Smith. Sasha recognized Tracy was wondering if she wanted this baby to be a real Quartermaine. However, Sasha was emphatic that she wanted nothing from the family and could handle everything herself. Tracy persisted in her search for answers, so Sasha finally made a phony confession that Jason was the father. Jason went into the Quartermaine kitchen just as Sasha made the statement, but she took gone. Jason had to speak with Tracy alone, so he admitted Drew was after him. Even yet, Tracy was relieved to see Jason at the Q Mansion with Danny Morgan. At GH, Isaiah Gannon informed Lucky Spencer's loved ones that they had given him medicine to counteract the digitalis, but it was too early to predict his prognosis. While Elizabeth Baldwin and Aidan Weber were visiting Lucky, his monitors went crazy. Lucky's heart had to be shocked, but Portia Robinson eventually brought excellent news that he was stable and would be fine. Lulu Spencer was shocked to find Cyrus had caused her liver damage as part of his tragic plot. However, Lulu realized she might not have woken up if the liver transplant hadn't shaken up her system. Lulu felt bad over Sam McCall's death, but Laura Collins claimed the fault was all on Cyrus. After Isaiah enjoyed a romantic moment beside his best friend's hospital bedside, Lucky's family paid him a visit and encouraged him to wake up. Jordan Ashford assisted Anna Devane in determining Cyrus' relationship to Austin Gatlinholt, so Anna called to inquire about any of Austin's previous homes in the area Cyrus was headed. Anna relented on allowing Dante Falconeri to be part of the squad to corner Cyrus after she identified the cabin he was most likely utilizing. Brennan stole Dex Heller's gun from Josslyn at Cyrus' hideout and acknowledged to having been outdoors, but not witnessing what transpired. It would be difficult to prove self-defense, especially since Josslyn bringing the gun there could indicate malice. Instead of contacting the authorities, Brennan persuaded Josslyn that they should handle this themselves. Now that the WSB was involved, Brennan warned Josslyn not to tell anyone, not even Carly Spencer. Josslyn persuaded Brennan that she could be quiet, so he returned her to the WSB office. Brennan instructed Josslyn to shower and leave anything she brought with her to the cottage in the bathroom. After Brennan told Colette Gerard about Josslyn's murder of Cyrus, she mentioned that the cops were hunting for him right now. Brennan realized time was of the importance and dispatched a team to clean up the cabin, albeit he hinted at one exception. Josslyn returned to Brennan after showering and changing clothing, only to be met with some unexpected surprises. Brennan ultimately suggested that Josslyn initiate this by requesting WSB surveillance footage. Josslyn was upset when Brennan showed her a photo of Cyrus targeting Dex, implying that he had always known the truth. Nonetheless, Brennan wanted to observe how Josslyn handled the situation. Brennan made it obvious that he wanted Josslyn to join the WSB after acknowledging that she was extraordinary and has the essential qualities. Josslyn worried if Brennan cleaned everything up to gain power and force her to do what he wanted, but Brennan denied it. Brennan was going to repair this for Josslyn anyhow, but he hoped she would take his offer seriously. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.